Welcome to the podcast. This is Andre, and today we're going to talk about Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes. You know, when I think about how Drew McIntyre has been booked like shit, he's practically lost every single match. The guy deserves so much better. The WWE, you know, they're pushing all their favorite guys, you know, Triple H, pushing all of his favorite guys and girls and trying to help get the people on top that he feels should be on top. But there's a lot of guys out there and a lot of gals that the fans organically want to see on top, you know, like LA Knight, you know, and right now it's kind of hit or miss with a lot of the other ones. Can't really call, you know, anyone else right now because we have, you know, a lot of these NXT guys coming in and we want to, you know, see where this goes. But with Drew McIntyre, we were really hoping that this coming Friday on SmackDown, that this was going to be the time for Drew to get a nice little short WWE run, you know, defeat Cody Rhodes at the 3 Stages of Hell match. But I heard through the grapevine, ladies and gentlemen, I heard through the grapevine that due to the WWE is interested in finally pushing Randy Orton, they're looking for a Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. Randy Orton is supposed to win the Royal Rumble this year and go on to face Cody Rhodes. And I'm thinking that they're getting ready to give Randy Orton this title run that he's been missing for a long time, and this might finally thrust Cody Rhodes into some type of heel turn. I don't know. I mean, I personally think it's going to take a little bit longer. It's not going to just be after Randy Orton defeats Cody Rhodes for the title that Cody immediately turns heel. I think it's going to be he goes on a losing streak or something like that. But anyway, with Drew McIntyre, unfortunately, he's going to have to lose this match with Cody. I personally think, you know, I understand that Cody is the WWE's golden boy right now, but I don't think that, from what I'm hearing, Drew wins the first fall, like the regular match with no stipulations, no weapons, there's very much disqualifications and very much countouts. Regular, ordinary match. And they probably gonna let Drew McIntyre claymore the hell out of Cody 1, 2, 3 to show that Drew McIntyre can beat Cody Rhodes clean in a regular wrestling match. Exactly, yeah. But then we get another fall for whatever I forgot what he said the next match was. Dang, I have to go back and look it up. But from what I'm hearing online, it's apparently Cody is supposed to win the second 2 falls, you know, the second and third fall, because, you know, by Drew winning the first one, I guess it's a 2 out of 3, but each match will be different. So like if you win the first fall, then you go into the second match, which would be a different type of match, and if the same person wins again, then it's over. You know what I'm saying? Best 2 out of 3. But I'm thinking Cody is going to win the second one, which will now put it into a third match. And then Cody wins the third match to emphatically defeat Drew McIntyre, to show that Drew McIntyre isn't on his level and all these different type of things. And that's just bullshit, because Drew McIntyre would have cleanly defeated Cody Rhodes in the first match. Now, I don't know. Maybe they won't let it be clean. Maybe Drew McIntyre will have to cheat, you know, or somebody comes down to interfere. Who knows? Maybe Randy Orton comes down, you know, to get, you know, to be at ringside, and him and Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre get into it or whatever, and and Cody trying to get involved, trying to get his hands on Drew, and there's all kind of confusion and stuff, and Cody ends up getting knocked out or something. Maybe Randy Orton accidentally RKO's Cody or something behind the referee's back, and Randy all grabbing his head like, oh my God, what have I done? And Drew slithers on over there and gets the pin, you know what I'm saying? I mean, so that makes Drew look even more like a punk ass. The only way he could beat Cody Rhodes is because Randy Orton accidentally RKO'd him, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, he couldn't just beat the hell out of Cody and Claymore 1, 2, 3, you know what I'm saying? So it could go either way. I don't know how the WWE is going to do this for Drew. Are they going to show him, are they going to protect him and show him some kind of respect? And that he's a powerhouse, he's a veteran, he's a legend. Drew McIntyre been around for years, and so are they going to give Drew something? Because we know he ain't winning the match. We know he's not taking the title. So at least not right now. But maybe they can let Drew get a nice clean victory in the first fall over Cody Rhodes, so Cody can have doubt. You know what I'm saying? And then we can go into the second and third, and then maybe we can make it where I guess Cody has to. Truth be told, Cody has to win the second and third one, because if Drew wins the second one, the match is over and Drew becomes champion. So theoretically, mathematically, regardless of whether we want it or not, Cody has to win the second and third fall. What they could do, they could make it where Cody, by the skin of his teeth, gets the first fall on Drew to make it look like Drew was just kicking that ass, fucking him up, and then Cody got a roll up or something, and desperation roll up pin, got the victory. You know what I'm saying? And then the second fall, Drew clean just annihilates Cody Rhodes and defeats him clean for the second fall, and then the third fall, it's like that golden boy Cody Rhodes, with that John Cena style never give up attitude, he begins to appear to be the dominant figure in the match, because he's firing back and he's really fucking Drew up now, you know what I'm saying? And Drew get some shots in, and get a couple of high impact moves and things in there. But ultimately, in the end, unlike the first fall, Cody gets a nice, clean, we're just gonna have to call it. I mean, it's going to be three. It's going to be three crossroads. You know what I'm saying? Most likely that's how they'll do it, where it's like Cody's getting the best of them now in that third fall, in that third match. Cody getting the best of them real good. So Drew's really hitting them hard with Glasgow kisses and claymores, and Cody just keep kicking out and all this kind of shit, and I guess Cody just gets one too many good Cody cutters, and then just like how he did Brock Lesnar, it's gonna be the three amigos, you know what I'm saying? The three crossroads, and 1, 2, 3, Cody Rhodes emphatically defeats Drew McIntyre in that last fall. But at least we had it looking like Cody had to struggle and desperately got a roll-up pin in the first fall. Drew McIntyre cleanly and emphatically defeats Cody Rhodes in the second fall, and then Cody Rhodes cleanly and emphatically defeats Drew McIntyre in the third fall, so that they both look protected, they both look tough, and they both look wrestlers. They both look like they could be holding the championship, but ultimately Cody Rhodes walks out with the gold. That's retaining the gold. That's the way you make Drew McIntyre look like a real deal. That's the way you keep Cody Rhodes looking like the number one poster boy, the number one top dude in WWE. That's how you do it, because Drew McIntyre he could have easily have been the Cody Rhodes if they had decided to go with Drew McIntyre, who's tried and tested and has the experience to hold the championship, and he's Drew McIntyre has the same stock as Cody Rhodes. You know what I'm saying? Drew McIntyre can hold the big gold and it won't weigh him down. It won't be too much pressure and all this. You know what I'm saying? Drew McIntyre is a legend just like Cody Rhodes is. So they could have easily have decided, nah, we're going to go with Drew and make Drew the number one dude. And Cody could have become the Drew McIntyre. It could have easily have happened that way. It's all about the booking. You know what I'm saying? But WWE decided to go with this instead, which is fine with me because Cody, he busts his ass throughout the years, you know, his earlier years in the WWE, his earlier years, you know, and then Stardust and, you know, and being humiliated with his brother and all, you know, Goldust and all, you know, all this type of stuff. And then he leaves, finds himself on the indies, helps to build AEW, and then, you know, becomes a top name face and everything, and then comes back to the WWE to take his rightful place in the main event scene and becoming the number one dude. It makes total sense why this happened. Cody Rhodes deserves it. He absolutely deserves it. But so does Drew McIntyre. And I believe that, you know, that little short time when during the pandemic era, when Drew McIntyre was that number one babyface, you know, beating Brock Lesnar and becoming WWE Champion and all that, I think that Drew McIntyre deserves one more babyface run with the championship like that. You know what I'm saying? But this time with the crowd, because last time there was no crowd. You know, it was the, you know, the TV screens. You know what I'm saying? I forget, the pandemic era. You know what I'm saying? Where it was at the Performance Center. You know, and they had all these TV screens set up, you know, and the people, the viewers at home could watch the show like that, you know what I'm saying, and they try to make the arena look like there were people there, you know what I'm saying, but now we have real crowds back in the arenas, and I believe that Drew McIntyre is due one more good run as a babyface with the WWE Championship, you know what I'm saying, to close out his career the right way, you know. I'm hoping that he gets that one more good run. But Cody Rhodes, you know, I believe that Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton is for WrestleMania. This is for Randy Orton to finally get that championship. I don't know how they're going to go with this. Is Randy Orton going to be the one to turn heel, or is Cody Rhodes going to turn heel, or are they swerving us all? You know, is Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes going to turn heel together and start a faction? I mean, what the hell? We just don't know. We just don't know what's going to happen. But I'm excited to find out the road to WrestleMania, how things are going to play out. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's our podcast episode for today. We'll be coming back next time. We're going to talk about something else going on in WWE, or something else going on in the wrestling world. So you guys keep listening and wait on the next juicy information that I'll have for you guys. Talk to you next time.